It's Dave Joe Howe once again for Punch Out Boxing. Pleased to be joined by Eddie Hearn. How are you, mate?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for the show tomorrow night, and you are the last interview of a dozen before I go back and finally have some food at the hotel.
Yeah, same for me as well. I'm going to find a travel lodge or something. Completely shattered, but I'm here with you. So yeah, all good. Liverpool, what does the night bring us tomorrow?
I think it brings us a lot of good fights, a lot of good talents. I'm excited for Catterall Linares. I mean, I know that people just say that, you know, Linares coming off defeats and easy fight for Catterall. Not at all. Like, when you team back up with Ismail Salas, Robert Diaz is here saying they fancy the job. He'll give Jack and he'll give the British fight fans and the global fight fans a really good fight tomorrow night. And I think it'll be a tight fight. I think it'll go late, and I think Jack wins and maybe stops him late. But I think it's going to be very competitive. Say
Jack wins. What's next for Jack?
I think there's two options that he really wants. You know, one is Haney Prograis winner, and the other one is Josh Taylor. You know, I've stressed this week. I really need the performance that can send me into bat with the broadcasters and stuff like that to say we want to make this fight. And I think Jack's shown, you know, for the ticket sales for this event, I think it will rate well tomorrow night that he's a major force at 140. But a great performance will certainly help me.
I mean, Eddie, you were over in San Francisco, wasn't it, this week as well? Some nice comedy moments, should we just say, with Bill Haney. You were in the middle of that as well. I mean, how are both fighters? How's Devin Haney doing?
Good. I mean, look, Regis is quite surly. He just wants to get in there and rip Devin's head off.
What was this thing about, what was it, public school boys and everything like that? You were straight in the middle?
So what it is Devin's dad was a bit of a, let's say he's a bit of a boy around Oakland, right? And Devin really was brought up with money because Bill done well for himself. And the kind of feeling is that Devin got gifted everything on a plate by his dad. And he didn't come from where Regis came from, and he had a good education and all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a reflection of, some people feel that if you come from that kind of background, you're not tough. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Regis was kind of digging in at, saying, don't talk to me like that. You're a public, you know, you can't talk to me like street talk.
Yeah.
When you're, you know, we know how you grew up, and you know, so.
Did some of that resonate with you?
100%. Yeah, of course.
BS that you had growing up as well?
I think that my old man always said to me, "You could never be a fighter." And I said, "Well, apart from being useless, why not?" And he says, "Because you just ain't from that background." And I was like, and I kind of agree with him, but at the same time, then I see fighters, namely like Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, who are from that same background as me, who are fucking really tough. And also some of, if not the, hardest workers in the gym. So I disagree with that point now. And I think if you have a passion for something and you have a desire, it doesn't really matter where you come from. But I also feel like people that came from nothing are more resilient than someone that didn't. So like my old man, probably, I don't know. I guess as you get older, but I think in your youth, like if you haven't really struggled, you know, are you as tough as someone that has?
It's a bit of chicken and egg, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
I just don't know.
I mean, I would say if you had two guys of the same talent and same ability, and I was investing in a fighter, and one grew up with money and, you know, and the other one came from, Regis said, the dirt, which I think is very, you know, it's an extreme saying, but that's what Regis Prograis said. You'd think that guy's the guy that's edgy. Do you know what I mean? But if they were on an equal footing. But again, if you've got a passion for something, if you work hard at something, and you've got that desire, and you're a winner, like, not blowing my own trumpet, but I fucking work like a dog. Like a dog. I work like I'm skint. But I do it because I love it, not because I have to do it. I could retire. I could have retired 10 years ago. But I'm working harder now than I've ever worked because I want to win and I love what I do. So I'm not so sure, because could someone that came from nothing work as hard as me and do what I do? I'm not so sure. But boxing is a bit different. Yeah, you've got to be a tough fucker.
Going on to Aziz and Buatsi, people asking you for lottery numbers now. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, look, I never said Dan Aziz has faked an injury. I said it's very unusual for a fighter to pull out on a Wednesday with an injury. I've been promoted for 15 years. It's probably happened to me less than a handful of times. But I heard the fight wasn't going to take place, not for those reasons, and I said it, and it didn't take place, and everyone wants to play the interview now, and who knows in boxing? It's full of rumours and bullshit, but sometimes there's substance to it, and I know Dan Aziz wouldn't do that, and I hope it gets rescheduled ASAP.
Who would you have backed in that one and picked to win? Because people are saying as well that Buatsi's been on a bit of a slide since Boxer.
Listen, I think
Dan's been on the
Buatsi,
rise,
I've always rated Buatsi very highly. I think he struggled to get momentum. And when he's on the verge of, you think it's coming, it's never really come. But he's very, I think he has a lot more talent than Dan Aziz. But Dan Aziz is very resilient. He's got a great engine. He's a tough man. And I think it's a good fight. I think with Buatsi's momentum, I think Aziz, surprisingly, could be a favourite in that fight. But again, if Josh gets it right, he's an excellent talent.
You're going to be on the road a lot. Loads of shows for Matchroom and DAZN. I mean, look, not just Regis Progress. We've got Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron. Are you still getting all the runs and all your fitness in as well?
Yeah, I have to, because otherwise, this week I went to San Francisco on Monday night, landed, did the presser on Tuesday, flew straight back to come up to Liverpool. If you're not fit and you're not living well, that kind of thing fucks you. I'm actually talking to you and my back is twinging a little bit, but I'm finding I feel better and I feel like I've got more energy than I've ever had. And I think that's just because I'm training more, And I think I got to a stage probably a year and a half, 2 years ago where I was just eating shit. I was having a drink after shows. I was probably 2 stone heavier than I am now. I just weren't sleeping. And it's how much more can you do? And with this schedule, it's unless you're fit, I mean, the biggest problem for me is still sleep because of the time zone and stuff like that, but I feel great. Look unbelievable as well.
Just very finally from me as well, 2024 is almost upon us. What does that mean for AJ? How many times are we going to get him now?
Well, he still wants, he wants to fight in December because he's telling me he wants to fight 3 times in a year. I said, you fought in April, so you've only got to fight before April. He said, no, in 2023. So he just wants to stay active. 2024 must be the big fights. One fight must be Wilder or Fury. He has to fight one of them in 2024. Has to. Hopefully both. But he's loving boxing and he just wants to stay as active as possible.
Eddie, all the best from Punch Out Boxing, mate. We'll catch up with you soon. Good luck tomorrow.